Another year has passed and we are another year older, and our beloved genre is another year stronger. 2015 brought us a plethora of films from varied countries and budgets. We had multiple Halloween and Christmas themed films, films shot in gorgeous colors and films shot in haunting black and white. We had a cannibal film playing the theaters, horror westerns, stories of frustrated actresses, killer bees, bears, and beavers. We had gore, atmosphere, hilarity, and many true modern masterpieces. We even had the return of Giovanni Ribisi and Catriona MacColl. This year truly had it all. 2015, in my opinion, the greatest year the genre has seen since 1985. Yes, everyone, I mean it when I say I feel this is the greatest year for the genre since 1985. That's a long time. All due respect to some other great years. 1986 comes to mind, 1988, of course, many other years throughout that time frame. Even 2011, I think, was one of the best years of modern horror. That was the first year of the Golden Horn Awards. But yeah, I think this is a truly special year. Just incredible. I don't know if it'll ever get truly appreciated, even for all of you out there who are like me that love to give respect to modern horror films. But it may take a few years. Maybe some of these films will hopefully develop more of a following from younger viewers and fans, or maybe other fans who have yet to see some of these films. But yeah, to me, it's been a very, very special year. Just the quality and quantity of films was, to me, just astounding. And yeah, I've just really been blown away as someone who, who blows that modern horror horn all the time. And I'm not surprised each year when so many great films come out, obviously doing this award show. But even in saying that, this year truly did amaze me and surprise me of just how great it ended up being. Just all the way right up to the very end, literally just the night before, last night before I'm shooting this, I watched a couple more that I needed to view before, accumulating all these nominations, and I was blown away a couple more times. Literally all the way up to the last minute. Let's get started and get to the obligatory comment on the subjectivity of what deems a release year. I keep mine simple. I keep mine the same every year, and I'm going to keep it that way. It works for me. I'm not saying everyone should go this route, of course. Two things. Has to have some type of theatrical release. Well, I shouldn't say it has to. If it has a theatrical release, in my award show, that of course doesn't come up very often because I don't see many horror films in the theaters, unfortunately, every year. But because there just aren't that many. Generally, that would mean a Hollywood production for the most part. And if not that, then it has to have actual practical physical copy release, whether it be a DVD or Blu-ray, of any region, whether it be Region 1, Region 2, even Region 3, that came out that year. And that's what counts for me. I don't count streaming. I know streaming's a big deal. I don't have some anti-streaming agenda as to why I do that. It just, as a physical format collector, it makes sense to me to keep it simple that way, because it's such a gray area, because these days a new movie, a lot of times it'll stream maybe for a while, and then you won't see it again for several months. So it's just easier for me that way. It makes sense to me as a collector, as someone who has a big collection, and just me in general. I don't know. I just don't get off on streaming. When there's a new horror film that's out that I'm really excited about, it's a big deal in this house. We purchase it. We make an evening of it, whether it be with me and friends, or me and the wife, or me and Hope, or just me by myself. It's a big deal. Get some good beer, get some good food, watch it. Usually on a night I have off. It's a production. And you might say, well, I don't have the money to purchase films. It helps to stream, pay a few bucks, see if you like it. I totally respect that. I totally understand that. But over the years, my horror radar and intuition is quite precise. So very rarely do I end up buying a film that I end up not wanting in the collection. Of course, it happens here and there. And when that does happen, I'll give it away. Maybe someone who would like it more, or I take it back to a store and get some type of credit for it. Really not a big deal, and it rarely happens. I don't just go out there and buy anything. I really have a general good idea of whether or not I'm going to like something. It just matters. It just ends up becoming how much do I really like it. So that's just me, guys. I have nothing against streaming. I totally understand it. I love to go to the. We still have a local video store, which is really cool. I can rent things. I love supporting that. I'd much rather support that route, and then just buying the film, whether it be from Region 2, Region 1. It's fun finding the films that I'm excited about. That's just me, guys. I'm a physical format guy, and that's the way it is, and that works for my award show. Okay, let's get to it, guys. We got a lot of categories. It's great to see that the categories have grown. I haven't had this many categories since 2011, the first Golden Horn Award. So let's get to it. We're going to start off with indie films. Excuse me. Indie films are thriving over the last several years. So much so that you've noticed it used to be one category of just indie horror. Now I've had to divide it into two categories because of the amount of great films that have been released. So I divided it up to best low-budget horror films and best indie horror films. So the low-budget are indie horror films that just clearly have somewhat of a lesser budget. So, I mean, great list, guys, and I'm going to say, especially these categories, but all these categories coming up, several films within here that could have easily ended up in Best Picture. And just to remind everyone, films can get multiple nominations except for the Best Picture nominees. They can only be nominated for that category. All right, guys, check out the indie stuff that's been out this year, my nominations. I should not have to say this, but of course, if there are any films that you see on this show today that you have yet to purchase or stream, whatever, just fucking buy it, just fucking stream it, whatever. Gotta see them, of course. Yeah, I think I'm excited at these next two categories. One of the categories is one that has been brought back. It's been absent for the last few years. Back in 2011, we had this category, so I welcome this category back with open arms. And the one after that is a first-time category, which is really exciting. When you have such a great year like this year, I've had to add some categories, so really awesome. Check out this stuff. it is so gratifying to bring back the category of best monster creature feature film. I mean, it's like the kid in all of us. We love, as horror fans, we love monster films and creatures, and it's so cool having that category back after being absent for a few years, and then so awesome to have a new category, the first time ever, best slasher of the year, because there's so many great slashers this year. So just really cool. Next up, I'm not a big, like, I shouldn't say I'm not a big fan. Horror comedies, I think, there's a lot of them that come out every year. I think just a lot of them end up not being very well. So help me God that I have to hear. It seems any type of horror spoof or comedy has to be compared with Shaun of the Dead for whatever reason. But yeah, I just think there's it's tougher to find some great ones. But this year it's been so strong for horror. I have comedies, parodies / cheddar films. There's been so many this year, even several more outside of the nominations. So just been a great year for horror comedies, and check out these awesome nominations. The root of horror is to scare you, to freak you out, to creep you out. Very important category to me and the Headbanger household. Your nominees for best, scariest, and creepiest film. There's some really good ones, and there's a couple in particular that I have not heard much of anything about, which is a shame. Check them out. You all know well by now, if you watch the show, I fucking love foreign horror. That's every year in and year out. It's such a strong category, and it goes to perfect example of the way when you hear someone say there's no good horror anymore. I mean, clearly they don't watch the whole foreign scene at all, and that's usually next to the indie scene. That's the strongest sub-scene of the genre, and every year it's great, and this year is just one of the strongest it's been probably since 2011. And the strange thing is, we only had one entry period from the Asian horror scene, which is crazy. Usually every year they at least have a couple, really strong films or some to choose from. So it's been very light from that area of the world this year, which is just strange, as well as Spanish horror. So being without them, it still shows how strong it is. And we've had some new places in the world that have entered the horror genre, which is awesome. I gotta say, guys, in this awesome list of foreign nominations, there is a true modern masterpiece, in my opinion, that I haven't heard much talk about. I won't give it away because you'll see what I'm talking about when you see who wins next week at the Golden Horn Awards. But wow, what a great foreign category and a great list of nominations. Wow. Realize, people, there will be many more categories and awards given out than what you see here today. So definitely make sure you watch the Golden Horn Awards. You can see best artwork and best release. There's been so many great releases this year, incredible releases. Score, cinematography, so stuff like that, gore effects. So it's not just these. So you gotta gotta watch the show to see who wins the other awards. So let's get to the individual nominations. Some, as always, great performances from the men and women of horror. And in the director category, I think it just epitomizes the diversity of the genre. All those different films, all those different styles, and all different budgets, of course, too. It's just been awesome. Some great directing jobs this year. Alright guys, this is it. The big category, the big one. Best Picture, Best Horror Picture of 2015. Guys, these films blew me away, each and every one of them. And I gotta say, this is the most nominations. I like to try to keep it to 5 or 6 every year. And I could have easily gone really to 10 with some of the films that ended up in the other categories. But guys, we have 7 here, and wow, just amazing. Here you are, your nominations for Best Picture of 2015. There you have it, guys. All your nominations for the big categories. I hope you join me. What a freaking year it's been. Just incredible. In my opinion, I'll say it again, the best year in the genre scene in 30 years. Join me for the 5th annual Golden Horn Awards. My co-host, Lucio Finchie, with me. I hope you guys join me. It's going to be a blast. Can't wait to tell you guys all the big winners. We'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching. Stay scared. Happy New Year. We'll see you at the Hornies. I'm out.